Hey everybody, it's been a little bit, but today is the launch of Ryzen 7000 series. So I'm going to quickly unbox the Corsair X670E. I picked this up today at Micro Center along with the 7950X that we'll also take a look at. I didn't really read reviews, so I didn't see any reviews for the board, so here it goes. Standard Asus packaging. I'm just going to cut the Asus sticker. Alright. I pretty much expect this board to look very much like last generation. Well, not so much last generation, but kind of like the... Oh, that's different. Okay. I was saying like Z690E. Okay? Not E, just Z690. No more clear. Black. Nice. It's thicker. I like that. Alright, so here we go. Here's the board itself. This is very, how do you say? I don't like this. They did it on the Apex, they did it on the Z690E. It's not really my style, but I didn't like the bumps on the Z690, so this is nice. I see now we have the popper, so otherwise this PCIe would be a pain, just like it was on X570. Nice to see that there is the LGA socket now. It seems there are changes to the M2, so we'll take a look at that. I don't have the specs on the board in terms of phases and such because I did not look into it yet. Okay, here's the back. Back plate looks standard affair. Oh, by the way, this board is $999, so it's $1,000, which came in less than I expected because the Z690 Extreme was $1,100, and rumors were, it was going to be in the $1,300-ish area. But in Australia, it's $1,600, so too bad for the Australians. Let's see what else you get in here. Same standard box packaging. Okay, the fan control, the new DIMM.2, which ooh, that's hefty now. So take a look at that. What is it, screwdriver? Yep, I don't care about any of this stuff. What else is here? Wi-Fi antenna. Alright, don't care about that stuff. What is that? Usual books and crap. I think get some stickers. Oh, now they include a fan controller guide. At least I noticed it now. I guess I never noticed it previously. Or they didn't have it. Either one. Stickers, which, it's whatever. What's in here? What's that? Keychain. Double-sided tape. Double-sided tape. I'm not sure what that's for, but okay. Is that a fan hub? Yeah, not a fan hub, but one 4-fan, one extent. Sorry, I can't talk today, man. Yeah, pretty much 4-pin hub to 4 fans. What is that? RGB extension, 3-to-1. SATA. Thermal sensor? No. RGB extension cord. USB-C. USB-A to USB internal. This would be for the fan controller. What else? Another 3-pin RGB extension. SATA cable. Another fan splitter. Split to 4. And a really ugly... What the hell is this? Huh. I have to look what this is for. I don't know what this plugs onto the board. I don't see it anywhere. Okay, and then thermal probes. So that's all you get over here. I'll probably never touch any of that. Let's see what else you get over here. What is that? GPU bracket. M2 screws. What's that? It's strange. It's like a jumper cable. Not jumper cable. It's like a 1-pin to 1-pin. I'm not too sure what that's for at the moment. I'll have to look into it. Thermal pad for M2. More M2 screws. Another one of these. Interesting. ROG sticker. What's that? Double-sided tape. Probably padding for the M2. What's that? What's in here? Is that a screw? Oh, this is the M2 switches. Alright, so to hold it in place. The front panel. I have no idea what this is for. but it seems like two little plastic things you would stick somewhere to kind of dampen something or cushion something. RGB extension. Nope, this is interesting. It looks like it goes to a 3-pin RGB, but this is clearly going to a different header. There's like a JST or something. And what is this? Rog True. Oh, Voltician. Oh, so some of these things here might be for the Voltician, like on the Apex. I never used it, so don't ask me. But that's pretty much all this. So you get more stuff than you used to, which is nice, and you know, less than the Extreme. So Z690 Extreme, so that's nice. I don't know why the Intel boards always cost more. No real reason. I think, you know, build-wise, they all contain the same stuff, so it doesn't really make sense why it costs more to me. But that's, you know, I don't make the business decisions at Asus. Let's take a look at the new M2. Wow, that's chunky. Okay, so instead of it before, it was kind of slided in like a RAM stick. I guess now it uses different connectors. The heatsink is much more beefier on one side, right? As you can see, it's much beefier, and the other side is kind of just, yeah, that is strange, right? You figure they would make it equally beefy, but I guess that's too. Okay, let me put it on, and we'll take a look here. So let me shuffle this to the side. Let's bring the board back. So if I put this onto here, okay, it goes in this way. Yeah, I guess if it's too thick, it might. No, it won't block the RAM. Yeah, that's kind of strange. They added a heatsink on this side. I don't know if this one is going to be, say, like Gen 4, and this one should be Gen 5 at this rate. I don't know if this one is a, you know, slightly different socket than this one is. I have to check the manual. It is kind of weird that one side is more, you know, much more beefed up than the other. But let's take a look here. Put that in the board. If I can get it in the darn board. Let's see. Come on. All right, so that's how it looks. It's nice. It's about time something new, right? It was time for something new. So that's a nice look. Kind of sticks out quite a bit though. So if you're running tubing, you're gonna have to go over that. At least I think it's taller than most RAM. So, you know, if you run tubing over, you can still get your RAM out. Let's see what else. The board itself looks about the same as, you know, you get the same stuff. In the back, I think you gained a USB-C or Thunderbolt. I believe before this was not. I have to check the other boards. I think you did gain a Thunderbolt or two. Let me see what else. 10G, 2.5 still. God forbid they're both 10 at this price point. Wi-Fi 6E. Dual A pins. Everything from the top looks recycled to me. This part looks like these 4 pins look like they might be new. It's been a while. Hold on, let me check my other board. Hold on. Yep, those 4 pins are definitely new. They're not on the Z690 Extreme or the X570 Extreme. Let's see what else. This stuff is all the same as before. Nothing new here. I think NVMe support's still the same. We got 2 slots. Let's take it open. Everything pretty much, the board-wise, is the same, outside of the change on the back and these 4 pins. But the rest of the board looks very similar to what they've been doing. Let me see if I can get a screwdriver. Open the bottom here. All right. I do like this look though. It is a nice look. I think this part probably lights up. I mean, I'll run the board later, but I like this. This is nice. You know, it's not a sticker. It's actually etched into there, which is nice. I know the board probably looks very nice and crisp. You know, that's probably because there's a big fill light above, so it kind of looks dark. You know, once I tilt it, there's no light shining on it. It's pretty dark. Okay, so it's just the fill light that's making it look silvery. Okay, so let me these off. It's so strange seeing the, you know, the AMD brackets with the LGA socket. It's just a strange sight to behold, but I know that for some of the coolers, you're not going to be able to reuse them, or because of the mounting. Even if you can reuse them, they may not be as efficient as, or work as well. Okay, so yeah, you get 2 slots. Yeah, this part doesn't come off. So one here, and then one under here. I'd assume this one's direct to CPU. One of these is probably shared with the PCH. This one probably shares with this lane. It's typical affair. I'd have to look into it, but that's my assumption. Okay, so I'm going to screw this back before I lose these screws. You can't really lose these screws, actually. They're very hard to screw all the way out. Kind of captive screws. So, yeah, but this is nice. Heatsink. The board is, I mean, board build quality is very high. You know, at the price point, you know, honestly, I would expect that. But that is also interesting, right? Look at the back of that. I mean, that is so different compared to what we've seen. So let's see here. All right, so actually, you know what? Let's unpack the CPU. All right, where is that? That's here. Okay, 7950X. I didn't buy any of the other ones because, frankly, I don't care for any of the other ones. At the moment, that may change once I get more time. Just glued now? What is the point of gluing it, guys? Yeah, there's glue. It's so stupid. Does it slide out? Oh, sorry. Brain damage. All right, I was trying to cut the back of the packaging. I don't know why. All right, okay, so here we go. Let's look at the chip. No cooler, obviously. You're gonna have to just supply your own. I don't know if the I don't know if the lower ones come with the cooler or not. Frankly, I didn't pay attention. Price point on this is $699. For those of you that don't know, 13th gen Intel is coming out in approximately, I think, a couple weeks, right? And those are priced about $40 less than this. So that kind of speaks to maybe the performance, maybe the competition. I don't know if it's because it performs not as well, or I would expect Intel to come in fairly similar, right? But, you know, definitely more power consumption, even though this is a hungry chip already. You know, it doesn't mean that Intel won't be hungry. So that's definitely new. Very interesting IHS design. Okay, there we go. So I'm going to socket that in. It's kind of interesting. See, I wonder. All right, so let's take a look here. Ooh. All right, so let's take a look. Let's remove this. It's just so odd doing this for an AMD. I mean, I think my first AMD chip was like a K6 or something like that when I was like 1997. Is there a triangle? Yeah, there's a triangle. So it's nice that it lines up so that the words Ryzen face up. It's always appreciated, even though you'll never see it. And there you go. That is definitely a very nice look. I don't know what I'm going to do cooler-wise. I'm going to, you know what? Let me just take off this bracket right now. I know the Corsair, some of the Corsair coolers use this existing bracket. Obviously, that means some of the other AIOs also use this bracket. But they were saying that, you know, you might have difficulty with aftermarket coolers that use their own retention bracket, even though I think this bracket looks fairly identical. Actually, you know what? I think that's because I may have missed a detail on the back when I was removing this. Is this all part of the socket? Ah, yeah, see? So the bracket is also part of the socket. So if I remove the socket, then I can remove the bracket. Okay. So anything that you had, a block or something that requires you to remove the original backplate is not going to work. So guys, here are the boards side by side. This is actually last generation. I just wanted to bring it in here. As you can see, the ports on the side pretty much remain the same as as the newer one, right? So not much change as I mentioned. This is still a very good platform if you can get it. This obviously cost-wise is a lot more efficient than the new stuff as always. We did have some DisplayPort in outs on here, but on here we have USB 4 instead. And I believe, according to their marketing, one of these is able to output 4K. I mean, 8K, because all Ryzen does have an iGPU at this point. I did not see any display adapter dongles, so I'll have to look more into this. I'm not too sure their layout here, but yeah. So let's see. Yeah, pretty much everything else. Like I said, if you look at it, looks like it's very similar PCB. All right, board PCB, just some slight upgrades. Let's take a look at the. Obviously, if you look at the power though, that VRM layout has changed. All right, so the power delivery has changed quite a bit. I'm gonna count that. Let me see. Similar, but definitely more beefed up. Yeah, it's definitely more beefed up on the newer one. Okay, but other than that, yeah, so let's just get this hooked up and we'll take a look. Okay guys, I got it running now. I did have some difficulty getting it to post, but and also at the same time, unfortunately, the only cooler I had that would work is this crappy 240 AIO. None of the water blocks I have work, because they all require their own mounting bracket. I did order another block, the BitsPower Pro M, the newer ones, do work out the box because of the screws screw right onto the existing bracket. Reason is the bracket is connected to the socket, so you can't take the bracket off without taking the socket off. I mean the socket clamp at least. So when this board first posts, you may get into an issue where you're sitting at a C15 memory test that just doesn't go away. That may be very possible if your board shipped with BIOS revision 044XX. You'll find that revision sticker like right around here. Okay, I did have to update my BIOS as the moment that I'm making this recording right now. The support page has not been updated with the latest BIOS. Well, the support page isn't up, period. I've been told that it's uploaded but not synced globally. So I actually got this BIOS from the Asus rep directly himself. So it's good to know. Very helpful people, right? But nonetheless, I got the system posted with 4 sticks. I'm gonna try to do like XMP with 4 and see if that posts. But you can see the more sticks you have, the longer time you're gonna spend on that memory test, right? So you can, I don't know if you can see it right now. Oh, well, I just enabled XMP, so it's gonna have to do a whole memory training thing again. But this is what I mean. The 15 that it's stuck on right now, and you'll see on the screen it says memory test. This can go like 2 minutes. So don't fret, just kind of wait it out. If you're concerned that if the memory is going to hang, then just boot with 1 stick, the stick all the way at the bottom. You know, if it posts, then move on to 2 and see. If you have to flash the BIOS, you will have to do a BIOS flashback. For those that don't know how to do the USB flashback, there is a slot on the back of the motherboard at the very top that says BIOS flashback or something like that, or BIOS. You stick the USB in there, you're going to have to rename it C670XEE .cap, so it's double E's, and then it will have the BIOS flashing, you know, status like right here. It'll take about a good 5 minutes, and then once it's done, and then you can just do a clear BIOS, and then try to post again. See how it's still hanging on 15? Yeah, this can take quite a bit of time, especially with 4 sticks. I've been told with other brands, it took sometimes as long as like 5 minutes, but you know, subsequent BIOSes have improved that. And I've also been told that by Asus the first initial training is going to be very long, and then subsequent ones will be faster. I'm sure this process will get better, you know, with each subsequent BIOS, but you know, keep it in mind that the first post is going to be a little painful. You see now it passed that 15, but it went back to it. See, it's cycling through the codes, so I think it might have failed the train the first time. This is my first time trying to do XMP4 sticks, so we'll see if that works out. So I believe one of the reasons why I wasn't passing training was because I realized that the sticks I grabbed out of my drawer, these G Skills, they're actually they're dual rank sticks. They're 32 gigabytes each. I thought I had pulled single rank sticks. So I mean that's kind of disappointing because that means we're technically still stuck at 64 gigabytes max until, you know, maybe the BIOS improves, but, you know, I mean, with Intel, you know, we're kind of stuck on 64, right now, if you want decent speeds. These did boot without and ran without mem test errors, you know, unlike my Intel setups, I can't even run 4 sticks without errors, unless yeah, there's no way I'm not getting errors. So I guess there's an improvement, but running at 3600 on 4 sticks, for 120 gigabytes is kind of, you know, even with CL30, it's kind of like, ew, right? So that's the disappointing part. It's kind of hoping that this would be better, but I mean, it's running right now 5600, which is better than what my 12900K, like right there, right next to this thing, can do. So I guess I'll grab another 7950X and see if I can get luckier and give it a shot. But yeah, that pretty much sums it up for this one. The next this build, I mean, sorry, this board is going to be, I'll probably using a build that I'll use for a while, since AMD promised that I won't have to swap this socket out at least for another generation. I know the Intel 13th generation is coming soon. I will grab that. Just a direct socket. I'm not going to buy these E790 boards. For anybody watching, don't buy these E7090 boards. That's just a ripoff. That's literally like, I think the only change is like a USB something, like one change, and it's just a money grab. And it's just disgusting that partners are even making boards for those. But you know, it is what it is. So thanks for watching, and I'll definitely get on the 4000 series when that launches. I'm hoping to get them. Oh, anyone for was watching as well, do not buy a 12 gigabyte 4080. I cannot stress to you that is not a high-end GPU. That's not even the same die as a 4080 and a 4090. So don't buy that. Best bet, in my opinion, is if you have a 3090, 3080, hang on to it. You're going to see very low quantities on launch. And I personally don't feel, even at the very top end of the 4090, you're not going to see more than like maybe a 30% gain, right? It's more of like a die shrink with a higher clock speed, which doesn't necessarily bring the best performance changes. I mean, if you look at all the graphs, it's all DLSS. It kind of just gives it away. Nonetheless, if you're an enthusiast, by all means, if you got the cash, but don't waste your money on it. Don't, you know, always upgrade things that you can get a better improvement from, like a monitor or something else. All right, so thanks for watching. Take care and see you around.